Hey guys, Vince here. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys my setup here. It's not the prettiest, but it works really well. Maybe give you guys some ideas for your own bullet setup if you don't have a designated area or room, for example, for it. This helps me keep the smallest footprint possible, but while still being really usable and versatile. So first we'll start with the cart. I got the cart here. It helps me move it around, tuck it into a place when I'm not using it. One of the other things I had, I'm not using it right now, but I've got this little speaker, and I have a mic that I can plug and put into the trier. It helps with some beans where first crack is really quiet, not very audible. Second, I have this little fan here. I used to use it for my exhaust, but then I upgraded, so now I use it to cool the board down here, so it helps me from getting those overheating errors on the board here when you're doing back-to-back roasts. And the main thing I have right now is I think it's the S9 fan. So it's PWM controlled, doesn't use that much energy. It's got a little controller here for the settings, up, down, and you can even use the thermometer, which I currently have hanging there, to get temperatures, set it to automatically come on. I used some of this 80/20 T-strut. Originally I had a big vent hood over here, but it wasn't working as well as I wanted. It's getting ready to clean this thing up. Got my air gap here with the intake for the fan. And that goes to this 4-inch to 6-inch splitter. So the 6-inch is going in, and the 4-inch, I have one for the exhaust that you see. The other one goes to my cooling tray. And then what I have here is a valve. So if you listen, when I flip it, I'm not sure if you could hear that. So that just helps pull even more than the fan that's in there and sucks it all out. I've got my exhaust going out through one of these air conditioning window seals, and then I have some rubber on the top and the bottom, or some seals. And then once I realized that the chaff is pretty good for the grass, I decided to remove the filter that's in here. So all the chaff just gets sucked out through the top, blown outside, and just fertilizes my grass outside. And then you do get a little more chaff in the fan, but it's not as much as, filling the container, clogging the filter. So instead of every 3 roasts emptying it out, I just have to do maybe every 5 or 6 roasts. I just vacuum out the inline, the blower fan, and put the container back on, and it's back to working. Even when it's got some chaff in there, it still does fine in terms of airflow. You will notice it a bit if you let it go too long and then you clean it out. You'll notice your roast temperatures, because of the increased airflow, will change from roast to roast. So usually if I'm doing 3 or 4 roasts with one bean, I'll leave it. That way the progression of the roast isn't changing too much. And then if I'm changing beans, then I'll vacuum it out so that I'm starting from scratch with that new bean. And then that's just because I'm still working on my cyclone that I'm gonna build into the side. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys this setup. It could definitely be prettier, and I'm gonna work on changing this up a little bit so it's not just like tape and actually blinds, window blinds holding it up. But for now, it works for me. It's really good. It helps keep the whole area clean. It's a little bit of chaff here and there, but not nearly as bad as my previous setup. So hope that helps you guys out, and happy roasting.